Hey, folks, welcome into another edition of Horned Frogs Nation. It's presented by our friends of the Dallas-Fort Worth area BMW Centers. I'm Brian Estridge, and today we're joined by Jim Schlossnagle, the head baseball coach here at TCU. And as we like to say on these Zoom calls, Jim, it's good to see your face. I wish we were seeing you in person, but it's good to see your face.
Yeah, no doubt. I've become actually a big fan of these. I've always been a big FaceTime guy. I would
Yeah.
rather see somebody's face than talk to them on the phone. But I'm sure this is something that we'll use even beyond this virus situation.
I'm curious, and we got a lot we got to get into in the few minutes that we have, but have you utilized Zoom with your coaches and players? And is it something that you can utilize in recruiting at all?
It is, yes. I mean, we still have stayed on track with our weekly staff meetings, not just my immediate coaching staff, but with our support staff.
Mm-hmm.
And then up until exams, we had 2 meetings a week with our current team. And then I started about 4 weeks ago, once a week meeting on Monday nights with all of our incoming players. And simply because I'm not, the summer and the ability to bring our players in, especially the new players early for summer school in the month of July, has been a game changer in the last 6 or 7 years in terms of culture building, getting them used to how we do things. And I'm just anticipating that we're not going to get to do that. So we've just been breaking down different areas of our culture, having current players come on the Zoom call and talk about their experience at TCU, just to get those guys more connected and help their transition when they do get to come here.
Speaking of the culture of your program, one of the things that I know excited you the most about this past year was the culture that group had put together. The fight in them, the camaraderie among them in the locker room, in the clubhouse there. I know that was hard to see that season come to an end, wasn't
it? Toughest,
yeah.
Really, really tough. And what's crazy, we were 11-4 at the time, but we had lost 3 of our last 4 games, against a great schedule, close games. But I felt really good about our team. And the reason I felt really good about it beyond their talent level was at least my goal as a coach, we call it coach fed, player led, right? So, my job is to kind of run the overall program, but each individual team, in my opinion, it falls on the shoulders and responsibility of the leaders, the leadership group, the older players, the experienced players, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We had a group of guys, 8 seniors, and there were 2 or 3 that stood out above the others in terms of their vocal leadership and kind of standing out in front of everybody else. But they really had a grip on the team, and anything that went wrong, they were able to handle. If it got to a point that they thought it needed to come to me, they would come to me. But if you ask any coach, all you want is a team you can trust, right? So where all of your problems are field related, not off the field related. And so it was just an awesome group of guys to be around. You could joke with them. They could joke with me. I enjoyed them making fun of me because I certainly deserve it. And there's plenty of opportunity to do so. But it was just a great group of guys to be around. And luckily, it looks like they're all going to be back. But you don't get to start where you left off because you have an influx of new people. So we're going to have to work very hard, and we will, and I know they will, at kind of recreating that. But I do think it has a chance to be even better next year.
Yeah, when I look at the roster and I do the math here on the roster, you have the opportunity now to bring back those seniors if they'd like to. That's one of the waivers that the NCAA instituted, and it looks like you'll have 5 or 6 of those that'll come back. Plus, you have the addition, or more than that.
All eight
are in. Okay, good.
All 8 have told us they're coming back, and 5 of the 8 will be in their 6th year of college.
Right.
And so I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think you and I are about the same age. I was telling somebody the other day, if you'd have told me, all right, you get to go back to TCU, you get to take 6 hours a semester of online Masters of Liberal Art classes, and you get to play college baseball.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. I'll worry about being an adult and playing house with my fiance for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
I'm all in for 9 more months of that. So it really speaks to TCU, and let me make sure I say it speaks to Chancellor Buschini
Yes.
and our athletic director Jeremiah Donati, because that takes a financial commitment. And not only isn't every school in the country doing that, every school in our conference isn't doing that. So I'm very, very grateful to Jeremiah and Victor Buschini for their continued commitment to our players.
All right, got two things I want to touch on before we have to wrap it up here. Jim Schlossnagle with us here on Horned Frogs Nation, presented by our friends at the Dallas-Fort Worth area BMW Centers. All right, two things. Let's talk recruiting. How has this affected recruiting, the pandemic? How has it limited you? And I guess that may be a better question for later on in the summer, but give us some sense right now.
Well, we just can't. I mean, we've been in a dead period that right now is supposed to run through the end of May. Mm-hmm. And we were told yesterday that the vote's coming that'll push it through the end of June. And who knows, it may make it to July, and that includes any on-campus camps. So I believe there's some of these big groups like Perfect Game and PBR, some of the big showcase groups. I think they're going to put together events that people can watch online. But yeah, it's drastically affected it. The summertime is our peak recruiting. So we'll just have to somehow catch up in August and in the fall when they allow us to be out and watch games.
All right, one final thought here. What have you learned from this experience? And I'm not downplaying this, but I'm just going to refer to it as an experience. What have you learned, or what have you been able to accomplish that you normally wouldn't have an opportunity to do without this pandemic?
Well, in terms of being able to accomplish, just personally, I've made a real commitment to grow more in my faith. I've really made a bigger commitment to that, and that should have been going on a long time ago. And if you want to call me a lukewarm, quick Christian, sometimes that may have applied in moments, but I've really made a commitment, because with all this extra time, God can pull you one way and Satan can pull you another if you're not careful. Oh, yeah. So personally, it's been that. Professionally, what I've learned is I really, really miss the games. And I've said for so many years, I love the practices and I hate the games, because the practices are times in which you get to teach, and the games, there's so much riding on every game that I had gotten to the point in my career where I didn't enjoy the games. And now I will never say that again. And I really, and of course, this particular team had a lot to do with it, but I really miss the players. I miss being around them. I miss interaction with them. I miss joking with them. I miss getting on them and helping them be better. Because when you work at a university and there's no students here, I mean, it's like being in a grocery store and the place is empty. Like, why even have it? Right. Because there's a lot of pretty buildings, but if they're not full of people, they're worthless.
Yeah. I think we have all learned to appreciate things more, if nothing else. If nothing else comes of this, I think that is one thing that I think is that we all are appreciating a lot of things and people more. A lot of relationships are I think, being missed right now. Jim Schlossnagle, the head baseball coach at TCU. Hey, thanks for the time today. Thanks for hopping on the Zoom with us here on Horned Frogs Nation. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you in person very soon.
All right. Thanks for having me, Brian, and I appreciate all you do for us. Go Frogs.
All right. There you go. Jim Schlossnagle here on Horned Frogs Nation. Until we meet again, folks, stay safe, be secure out there. We look forward to seeing you.